We have evidence from the Warmer Home Scheme, which is the retrofit scheme for social homes, that they have people living in these homes, their lives have been vastly improved, both in terms of their energy costs, the air quality, and there's really positive health outcomes as well as economic. And the evidence is that when one street is done, the other street really demands to be done as well. And that's really positive, so when it's so patently clear what the positive outcome is, then you start to get the buy-in and you get the pressure on the system, which is good. Now, there is huge pressure there, and it's coming from government. It's 500,000 houses up to retrofit them to B2 standard by 2030. It's really a huge challenge, probably the biggest infrastructural challenge the state has ever undertaken. And there's going to be all kinds of problems with that, like where do we get the people who are going to do the work? Where are they going to live? How do we develop the ecosystem of companies and contractors that are going to do the work? And then another challenge is how are some people, and many people, going to afford the retrofit? And there are very generous grants, and obviously the carbon tax is hypothecated as the word we use. About 5 billion in the revenue of that basically goes towards grants for all kinds of both deep and shallow retrofit measures. But for many people, there's still a gap. You're talking about anything between 30 and 50,000, maybe more even for some houses. So even if you're getting a 50% grant, you might have to put up 20 or 25,000 euros. Now, what is coming in the next few months is the low cost loans. So these are backed by the European Investment Bank. People are going to be able they'll get the 50% grant, and then they'll be able to go to the credit union or the one-stop shop to get the low-cost loan. And they'll be paying back that loan essentially with savings on their energy bills for whatever, 7-10 years. So that is a very positive step. And inevitably, there's still going to be people who can't get the loans and they're going to be outside the system. But and we will have to refine policy year on year to try and capture those people and bring them into the net and ultimately get to the 500,000. And it's one of the strong features actually of the Climate Act is that the Climate Action Plan, which is the Act mandates, is revisable annually. So if we're not on track, then more measures, more creative solutions are required. So, or if they are required, then they can be put into the plan on a yearly basis. So I think, and the evidence we have is that there has been a pretty good uptake, and SEAI tell us that they are reasonably on target, with the plan. So ultimately, we want to get to those 500,000 houses. We want to get to 1.5 million houses by the 2040s. This is a huge challenge, but it's a huge opportunity as well. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who are in school now who probably should be looking to that industry as a career. Yeah. There's certainly good careers to be made in retrofitting.
And I could add to that if you like. There's sort of two things for me. The first is just at the domestic level, and I work for An Post at the moment. So but one of the things we've done is we've put together that package of a green loan. We've also developed what we call our green hubs. You may the jumper with going over the house. Angela Scanlon is our ambassador on that. The point is that we want to be able to go into a very local post office, put in your borough rating, get it, and then get the suite of options, understand how much everything costs, put against that your grant, and then we'll provide the loan, and we do all the back end kind of pain points. So that's something that we have developed to support customers in accessing affordable loans. And I think I would just also sort of applaud the ambition and the scale of funding that the government has put towards retrofitting. It's a seismic step forward, and it's hugely ambitious, and it'll take everything to put the skill sets in place that can actually meet the demand that's going to come at it. So I would welcome that. The other aspect of financing that I just might add is the sort of economy-wide climate-led investment. And this was really to what are the global funds doing? Who are they backing? Who are they investing in? And I think there's a lot of focus in all of these discussions around sustainability and clean energy, around proven technologies, the stuff that we know how to do. But if you imagine that the Earth has, a blanket of carbon around it, and 50% of those emissions are targeted through these proven technologies, so solar, battery, wind, but 50% aren't. And so retrofitting, built fabrics, cement, aluminum production, heavy goods vehicles, public mobility, decarbonising these hard to abate sectors has to happen in parallel. We need to attract climate-led investment into these areas to decarbonise them, because they are the economy-wide infrastructures that support decarbonisation. So it isn't, it's just sometimes in the conversations around clean energy, they can tend to focus on specifically around electricity or technologies that are prevalent in electricity generation or demand flexibility. Even that's a new step forward, and we need more demand management, not less. But I just think that we need to expand our thinking a little bit to those hard to abate sectors as well, because they need to be happening in parallel.